Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 4 vs 4 on Sainte-Mère-Église, and in this one I'm going to be playing with the 4th Armoured Division. So my teammates today are Schmitty on the 1st SSB, we have Bubblebox on the 6th Airborne, and we have Master on the 3rd Canadian Infantry. Then we're playing against a 12th SS Panzer, we have a 3rd Fallschirmjäger, 352nd Infantry, and 716th Infantry. Just going to pop this to my point of view and we will talk through strategy. So basically the idea was that Schmitty would head to the centre with the 1st SSB. I would push the left side, just where this attack beacon is, with my 4th Armoured, and Bubblebox would be covering my far left, whilst Master would be covering the right side. Now the weird thing about Sainte-Mère-Église playing 4v4 is that there's basically 3 lanes. So you got like the center lane, which is sort of the town area. Then you have like either side of the town. That's generally how it's played, and it's normally played 3v3. But in 4v4, the dynamic changes quite a lot, because generally you'll find that either 2 players push on either side or 2 players push through the middle. Now 2 players pushing through the middle I don't think is ever really ideal, because what will happen is there'll be an awful lot of attrition, which just causes you to lose a lot of troops, especially when you can do it with a lot less troops. So for example, 1 player could probably do the job of 2 players in the town against 2 players against him. So yeah, I'm going to be taking on this left side, and myself and Bubble and basically our entire team was sort of discussing what we wanted to do. I really wanted to go for like a concentrated push, so you can see this is pretty much my entire force. I've got some armoured LMG rifles in the M3A1 half track. I've got the command infantry to follow them up. Then I have some recon in the jeep there, alongside 2 M4s with the 105mm cannons and the M4 Abrams. So that's, yeah, just basically the start. Got the Abrams with the command to assist those M4 105s alongside the other infantry combination that I have there. So on my left side I am going to be having basically Bubble. He is going to support me by just covering my left flank whilst I concentrate quite heavily on the attack marker on this left side of the town. So that's pretty much what I'm going for there throughout the game. Schmitty should be able to do the job with the 1st SSB in the town, and over on the right side we do have Master, who should be able to hold quite nicely, although is going to be relying on quite a lot of machine guns, which I'm not entirely convinced about. If you want to be holding a line that's like this wide, what you generally do is rely more on rifles than on machine guns, because they survive a lot longer, and that allows you to bring up more reinforcements rather than just having your MGs killed and struggling. But he does have a ram there, so he should be able to do the job. So here comes Bubblebox's units on the left side. Looks like he's going to be bringing Polston. He's got the 2-star 6-pounders. And that's the beauty of the 6th Airborne these days, is they do have those 2-star 6-pounders. They are very, very good, and will definitely help Bubble secure that left flank. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. The deployment did take quite a little while during this game, so here we are underway, and the M4s, they're off. Our little Sherman combo, pretty cool little convoy we got going on here, with Abrams following up the tail. Very, very cool. Love it. So the idea here is to get the M4 105mm to take out any AT guns we come across thanks to the recon, and then we continue the push onwards. I am going to be using the armoured LMG rifles to push up as well. But here we go, +1 already. We are making ground on the left side. Bubblebox managing to push quite far up there. On the right side as well, we made a little bit of ground in the centre. The push is underway. Commando 6 Squad is going for the church and will be contesting the MG34, but with all of those Fallschirmjägers around, unfortunately the Commando 6 not going to be lasting too long. Either way, managed to get these armoured LMG rifles across the road into this building on the other side, which is actually quite important. Armoured LMG rifles at that range, 400-meter range to basically this entire tree line here, works perfectly for them because they have the 8 HE power there with the 230 cals. But yeah, just my tank combination, spreading out a little bit now, just waiting to get shots on target. Schmitty's going to eventually be dealing with the MG34 in the church, and on the right side, well, 2 players are pushing here, so I was letting our team know at this point. So double team push for the right side from the enemy, and myself and Bubble are doing a double push on the left side. So here it's pretty easy to see my 105 mils will work very well, and in this case they're going to be taking on the 81mm mortar back there, as well as helping take out the Kubel MG. I made some Grenadiers surrender already, which was helpful, and Bubble Box is actually bringing in a Tempest to pin down the Pack 38, so that's just going to leave that as a sitting duck for my M4s to clean up. Now I'm actually out of range of the Pack 38, it can't fire back, so yeah, the M4 105mm just going to be doing the job there pretty simply. So with only like 1 player on this side, you can see he's very stretched out, but so is our player on the right side. So what I've decided to do is bring up a Hellcat to help out, since yeah, Master's just as spread thin as our opponents on this side. So we're just going to try and take advantage of this. My M20 does go down on this right side. I brought it in with the Bazooka Squad, but the Bazooka Squad being 2-star here with the Ram 2 is going to absolutely tear to pieces that Grenadier Squad. So great job by the Bazooka, does pay itself off. My Hellcat is coming across now as well to start dealing with some of these half tracks. So that's what I was looking for on that right side. Commando 6 on this left is going to be targeting the MG34, should be able to deal with them quite nicely, and most of Schmitty's infantry should do pretty decently in that town. There we go, Hellcat's going to be taking out one of the enemy vehicles here. However, there is a 259, and well, my Hellcat gets bailed by a 259. I mean, really? That's exactly what happens though. And the double 259 combo here does work out at close range. Hellcat is going to be taken out, which was really quite unfortunate. So I lose my Hellcat on the right side at the start, and there is a 6-pounder here from Master that might be able to take out the other 259. But Schmitty here is going to be losing one of his Willys MMGs with the tank busters there for free, which wasn't very good. 25-pounder not going to be able to do too much. Second Willys MMG going to be going down as well, and goodbye to 2 tank buster squads for free. Either way, my armoured LMG rifles are moving up very aggressively, but the same way in which my Bazooka Squad killed off the Grenadiers, Panzerschreck doing a fantastic job against my armoured LMG rifles. I do have some extra rifles on the way. I've got 2 coming up on the left, 2 coming up on my right, and those are quite simply to continue forwards with this push alongside my M4s, because I'm going to want to find targets for these rifles, so that's what I'm going for here. Just going to have the rifles move forwards, identify infantry targets, and then job done. Panzerschreck there nearly killed my rifles before I unloaded them, but I unloaded them just as the Panzerschreck hit, so I think I managed to get away with it that time. A couple of rifles moving up on that left side though, very aggressively, but you can see that our opponents are doing the same on the right side. So the map pretty skewed at the moment, and Master is struggling, so I am going to be bringing up a 6-pounder and 2 of these rifle squads to help him out. For the M4, alongside the M4, Abrams is going to be starting to engage some of the tanks that have been brought in to reinforce. We do have Wolfman with the 3rd Fallschirmjäger division bringing in the Panzer L6 to help out, but that's not going to do too much. M4 is going to be forcing that MG34 to unload early, and disrupting enemy transports like that and forcing early unloads is actually a really decent way to put off the enemy, because it takes a lot longer then to, you know, reinforce the front line. and then you can take advantage of units before other units come there to sort of reinforce. Now my Jeep 30 cal does go down there to the Grenadiers, I believe, but as soon as those Grenadiers sort of revealing themselves, they're going to get pinned down by the multiple 50 cals and 30 cals that are available on my tanks. M4 Abrams takes care of the L6 easily and is now going to be engaging the Panzer III. Now at max range, the Panzer III pretty much can't penetrate the Abrams. I mean, even at its current range, can't really do too much to scratch it. On this right side, M1 gun does take out one of the 259s. Helps break the back of Ninja One's push here. And of course the two rifle squads, one of them managing to get into this building, is holding off pretty nicely. So that's working out very well. And Panzer III finally goes down there. Jeep 30 cal try and help out on this left side. I've got the M4 into line of sight of these Osttruppen as well. And there we go, lovely. Pinning those down. Rifles are spreading out and continue to push forwards. I do have to be a little bit careful of enemy AT guns. So you can see here, you can see the M4 is taking on the Pak 38 there. We are going to be pinning that down alongside the Osttruppen next to it. The Osttruppen with their disheartened trait means that with the M4 blowing up its round right next to him, it will basically be instantly stunned every time. MG42 going down there. We also saw the Panzer B2 get killed here by one of Bubble Box's AT guns. That 3-star 6-pounder probably doing the job there. So I've kind of helped protect Master's left flank a little, but there's still a massive concentration of forces that are pushing him directly on. Meanwhile, however, myself and Bubble are making a lot of ground, but at this point I completely shit myself, as HS129 is going to come in and smash my M4 105mm to pieces. Now I was very surprised to see that HS129 just sort of kill that one tank and not the other. Obviously didn't shift right click on my Abrams as well, because I reckon that HS129 probably could have got both kills, but is going to get forced away by the Tempest. That's why he decided to evac it. If that Tempest wasn't around, I probably would have lost a lot more units. Thankfully, Bubble Box got my back with the 6th Airborne and is going to be helping me out. So only lost one tank in the end, which isn't too bad. It's already done a reasonable job of taking care of some of the AT guns and so on. So yeah, we're okay in that scenario. Meanwhile, on this right side, however, rifles are continuing to push up. I've still got the M1 gun here trying to sort of cover this right side. I've also brought in an M21 mortar carrier that is helping pin down some of the enemy infantry. Now that rifle squad does get surrendered because I moved up to try and get the 50-meter grenade range on the half track, but didn't work out in the end. So yeah. By the way, M4's just freely attack moving to the right side. Is however going to actually bump into an enemy AT gun here, and that is a Pak 40. And the Pak 40 was actually firing at this rifle squad, probably was given a manual target order to shoot at the rifles, and that kind of left that AT gun to completely neglect the M4 and allow me to get the pin onto that Pak 40 very, very quickly. Also take out the FK there with the M4 75mm. So rifles having a bit of trouble here, but if I can get close to the half track, it should be fine. I am moving up the AT gun though, so that should be able to do the job once it gets into line of sight. Now another JU-87, or two should I say, do come in. One of them takes out a command Tetrarch there. I was very surprised not to see this one come in and hit both my M4 105mm and the M4 75. Instead, the JU-87 actually opts to go for a Jeep, which was containing my armoured leader, and that really, really lets me off the hook. Thankfully, Schmitty has brought up some Staghound AAs to the left side to support us, and Bubblebox does have the Polstons on the ground already, so reasonable amount of AA, enough to kind of stop those JU-87s from doing too much damage before my own AA arrives. Because I did have like this M15 CGMC on the way for a very long time, and because we are pushed so far up on this left side, reinforcements do take a reasonably long time. Do see my rifle surrender there. Probably should have fallen them back sooner, but didn't manage to. Abrams is going to be engaging a Stug at maximum range, and well, the Abrams having 10 AP is not going to do too much against 10 armor at max range, whereas the 14 AP of the Stug 3 is definitely going to do something to Abrams. So going to be retreating from that. M15 is just going to be hammering those Osttruppen on the right side. Still just chilling. Got my rifles there, and M1 gun just helped Master to stabilise as myself and Bubble continue to put pressure on this left side. Maintain the +2. 12 minutes and 50 seconds until victory. Typhoon AT going to be coming in there, going to be smashing one of these Stugs to pieces. Really, really good shot there from Bubblebox's Typhoon AT. Managed to get the side shot, I think, into the Stug 3, and really did the job. Now my M4 105mm, that's hanging around at the backside of this orchard, just so that these Stugs don't have line of sight onto it at that range. Yeah, moving up this CGMC, we've got 2 Hellcats on the way. They took out one of the L6s in the mid, which kind of freed up Schmitty to move it forwards a little bit. But now I'm just going to be using them to harass the Osttruppen briefly. These Hellcats, they just look so damn cool. The double Hellcat combination. Now going to be slamming those Grenführer. Lots of infantry coming across the open though. We can see Death Charge now bringing in his Italian infantry. Fortunately, if they come into range of the M4 105mm, they're going to die very quickly.
We can't take any more.
Yeah, we have the Hellcats doing the job here at the moment. I brought in an M1 gun. It does get pinned briefly by the Scharfschütze. But here I'm able to get the Hellcats to hit the BEO Schwim 210mm. I'm not entirely sure if that was going to actually fire another volley, but managed to kill it nonetheless. HS-129 tried to get the second shot onto the Hellcat. Failed to do so. Did manage to kill off one of them. It came in from a weird angle. We got all of this AA on the left side, but it just didn't matter when he came in from the right side. So you can see here, the Ju-87 stopped from killing off the M4 at that range. However, the Stug 3 though, now able to shoot at it. Now it's falling back, and I am going to be losing that M4 105mm as well. So both of my M4s from the start of the game have now gone. However, they definitely did their job in allowing us to push early on, take out the Pak 38s, and continue to move the rest of my troops forwards. On this right side, some harassment coming out from the ME-109 G6R6 with the recon plane going down. Rifles maintaining their position. As long as Master isn't being aggressive, I am just going to leave those rifles where they are. Since there's not really much point in moving them, I kind of want that defensive line to be there whilst myself and Bubble continue our aggression. But my Hellcat now engaging the Osttruppen. I've got the Hellcat sitting here so that it can hit the Stug 3 from 1,200 meter range, and it has a decent chance of penetration at that range, so well worth doing. Got some more reinforcements on the way, which is an M20 command and the M18 Hellcat. The M20 command providing the 1-star to the Hellcats, and will allow them to be that little bit more accurate, which is really, really useful. I've also got a couple more infantry squads coming because we are being charged across the open by this Italian infantry and the Grenadiers.
Shut up and listen to the captain.
On this right side, Master making a little bit of ground there with the Humber Mark III. Now having to deal with the Panzer IV-H though, and the Humber Mark III there going to be going down very quickly. Wolverine is, however, in range, and the Befehl Panzer IV is going to have to back off now, so saves the day a little there. A couple of Shermans coming up from Schmitty. and they're going to be helping push through as a lot of his infantry continues to move forwards. The commando leader taking out the sharpshooter squad in the forest, and with the pressure coming out of the town as well, we're definitely starting to make a lot of ground. HS-129 on this left side is going to be forced to fall back, and there we have it. One of our opponents has surrendered. That's going to be Wolfman in the center of the map. Just couldn't stop Schmitty from pushing all the way through, and with the support from myself on this left side, we've just absolutely crushed anything that he's brought in. Wolfman, the AI, sending one of the Stug 3s to its death as the M8 Hellcat does the job there. We also see Hockey Ball leave the game as well. Second opponent down. So now it's just a matter of taking care of the rest of the players. I think Ninja One also ended up surrendering at some point, and then we were left to deal with Death Charge for the rest of the game. So here the Stug 3 coming through. Hellcats both going to be able to get line of sight on here. We've taken out one Stug already. Second shot comes through from this other Hellcat and does the job. Now we have this Stug 3 engaging the M1 gun with my Hellcats. That gives us plenty of chance to take it out. However, as soon as that Stug 3 gets into the orchard, we are going to be dropping a line of sight quite dramatically. The Hellcat's not able to continue to fire, and the M1 gun here kind of fails to do the job. So the rifles on this right side, they've managed to push up quite damn far. Get a little bit over the 50-50 on this right side, honestly. And with that sort of combination there, the M1 gun and the rifles, it's pretty safe for now. Ideally there would be a command there as well to stop them from surrendering, but either way pretty strong nonetheless. Schmitty's going to be pinging out a Pack 40, and we have another Pack 40 back there. They're just kind of trying to keep an eye on what's going on. So that's actually at the Pack 38 there. We have the Pack 40 further back. So at this point I probably should have had some form of like artillery, maybe the mortar carriers on this left side as well, so that I could mortar the Pack 40 out of direct line of sight and continue to push. But M1 gun there, going to be taking out one of the armoured cars. We've got a combination of the M3A1 half-track and the armoured LMG rifles taking out some of the Italian infantry. However, there is, I believe, a command stopping that from surrendering, so we're just going to have to kill them all. And here comes Bubble Box with his Typhoon AT along with the Tempest, and takes care of that Pack 40 with us. Now that Pack 40 2-star veterancy does the job normally, but in this case going to be taken out very quickly thanks to Bubble Box. And that ME-109 probably would have gone down too as well if Bubble Box hadn't retreated his Tempest. He was quite lucky actually to get away from our anti-air, because at this point I do have 3 of these CGMCs. Schmitty's pushing up with the Sherman 5s here, trying to do his best to make us a lot of ground, and does manage to take out that unit up there. We're just jumping into phase C now with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left until total victory on the clock at least. So my mortar carrier is still going to continue to help out on this right side whilst we kind of solidify our position moving forwards on the left. With Schmitty also coming over to help, we're going to make short work of any vehicles that get in our way. I do have the Hellcats there coming up to help out as well, so that's all very well and good. Now since I didn't really get a chance to use them too much, I am now bringing in these cavalry scouts, and they're just there to continue the push really. Cavalry scouts can do a lot of damage with their 10 HE at 100 meter range, as well as having that Azuka there and the recon capability. HS-129 does go down to the AA. I did actually lose another Hellcat to that HS-129. It was very rude of them, but basically they ignored all of Schmitty's Shermans and just hit the Hellcat, which was Pretty damn unfortunate. So now I have to deal with the Lorraine. There's also the Pack 43 on the road, so trying to avoid that best I can. However, I've managed to get the WC-52 and both of these M3A1 half-tracks on target of some of these Grenadiers and Pioneer Fueres, so that's all very helpful. Now the Tempest engagement with the ME-109s. With all of the AA that's there, Tempest has no trouble getting on its tail and shooting it down after it's taken that much damage. Now just bringing in a couple of engineers here. These are just to cover off the right flank of the town, since the L6 and the Fallschirmjägers have been putting on pressure there under the command of the AI. But now we see the 2 minutes and 50 seconds left until total victory. We've absolutely slammed through on this left side, and well, with somebody requesting me to play the 4th Armoured, I think in this case I've made quite a good demonstration of how a concentrated push with the 4th Armoured can go very well. However, I wouldn't recommend trying to spread out with them too much, just because of the high cost of their units. Like, you're relying on Hellcats, you're relying on these Abrams that aren't like majorly expensive, but 130 points a pop at the start of the game is quite a lot. So Death Charge finally surrenders, and that's going to be a total victory after 22 minutes and 36 seconds. Great job. So everyone on my team doing fantastically. Smitty in the mid there with the 1,638 kills to 825 losses, not too bad at all. Bumblebox on the left side, 1,473 losses to 725 losses. So it's 1,473 kills, sorry. Then myself with the 2,068 kills and 960 losses. A Master's kind of struggling a little bit on the right side, kind of got double teamed, so to be expected. 1,473 kills to 1,050 losses. So really good all round by my team. Unfortunately, it looks like Coquebal kind of dropped the ball a little bit there for his team, only getting 300 kills with 1,755 losses. But you can't all have good games all the time. M4 105 mils definitely paid themselves off nicely, which was very good for the start of the game. My M4 Abrams also doing a decent job there. M1 gun cleaning some stuff up on the right side. Hellcats also picking up a few kills here and there. However, not really doing too much damage. And I'm not entirely sure how this happened, but the CGMC claimed a Stug 3 kill. Very odd, but happened nonetheless. There you have it. That's pretty much everything. HS-129s were very scary. Also the JU-87s, but fortunately not really piloted correctly, not given the right targets, and I managed to get away with it in this one. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.